Wow, 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 wow. Hello, viewers. So welcome to Instagram Live with your own boy, MC Bernardino, Canada Reality. Thank you very much for joining us as always. Canada Reality, we're live. Yes, let's keep joining us, hanging out, following us. Yes, if you're live, let's see where you're joining us from. Drop it in the comment section where you're joining us from. Let's see. Thank you very much, Mapuli. Arami is welcome. You're joining us. Thank you. Let's know where you're joining us from. Thank you very much, our ardent followers, our viewers, for joining us as always. JST, thank you very much. Mo Autos, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining us from. Yeah, this is Canada Reality, where we talk about immigration. Cyprus, thank you very much for joining us from Cyprus. That's it's me blessed if I got that right. Yes, Prince Richard is joining us. Thank you very much. Let's know where you're joining us from. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Canada Reality, and as always, we try as much as possible to give you information on how you can migrate to Canada. Yes, Jay Stage joining us from Nigeria. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining us from. Thank you very much for joining us as always. This is your own boy, MC Bernardino. For those of you that do not know, I have a YouTube channel where I dish out information for people that wants to migrate into Canada. And the reason why I created the platform is because I went through the process and I know how it is, and I feel the best thing I can do for people out there, wherever you are outside Canada, is to dish out information on how you can immigrate into Canada. And that's why I created this platform in the first place. All right, so we're going to wait because I have a guest for you today. He's been in Canada for like 7-8 years, if I'm not mistaken. And yes, great kids. Thank you very much for joining us. He's been in Canada for some couple of years now. He's been around. He knows the process. So I decided to bring him online to come and share his own experience, to come and talk about Canada lifestyle. How is it in Canada? The weather in Canada, driving in Canada, living in Canada, everything he has to share from his own perspective. So we're bringing him on board. In the next few minutes, I just want some more people to join us before we start. Catherine, thank you very much for joining us. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining us from. We have somebody from Cyprus, from Nigeria, from Germany. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining us from. And call your friends, share this, let everybody join us. I'm going to be bringing my guest in the next few minutes. I just want more people to come on board before I bring on my guest. And for those of you that do not know, I have a YouTube channel, Canada Reality, where I dish out information. So if you haven't subscribed to that YouTube channel, please go and subscribe. From Nigeria, thank you very much for joining us. Go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Canada Reality. I have a lot of videos there about express entry, study, work, whatever way you want to come into Canada. There are lots of videos there, so you can also go there and watch those videos too, and you'll be informed. All right, so we're waiting for more people to join us before we begin today. Just like I said, my guest, he's been in Canada for some few years now. He's been around for a lot of time. He knows, he's got some information, and that information is what he will be sharing with us today. So if you have any question, I will implore you to just hold on, hang on tight until when he's done talking, then we're probably going to take some few questions. So without further ado, let me just welcome my guest so that he's going to join us. So just hold on a little bit. Anytime soon. Yes. I am Ostaz Eri. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome. All right. So my guest is coming up. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here is my guest, and I will let you do. I'll let you do the introduction. Introduce yourself so that people get to know who you are.
Hi everyone. Hi Bernardino's viewers. Thank you for coming on board. We really appreciate you. Thank you for the support for Bernardino. Make sure you go like his program on his YouTube channel. He's doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
We really appreciate him a lot. Thank you. My name is Richard Eniola Polarami. I'm from Nigeria. Is western part of Nigeria, pardon me. And we are proud to see a lot of vibrant Nigeria coming to Canada, trying to make a good live. And today the host is inviting me to come and talk about Canada life generally, the way things run in this country. which a lot of people are not used to. It's typically different from what an average Nigeria or any part of an African setup is used to. It's literally different. So today we're going to be sharing more light on this, and that's it. I came to Canada, like the host has rightly said, some 7, 8 years ago, and if I'm not mistaken. So we've been here a while, and we typically understand the way an average beginner can start, and we get to a wonderful place in this country. So that's my brief introduction about me. And
thank you very much. I like that. I mean, you are really on point. Thank you very much for that. So now, so he has just told you his name is Richard. For those of you that want to refer to him in the question section. So once again, I want to implore you, if you have any question for Richard, please let him. I mean, he's going to be talking to us for like another 30 minutes. So hold on to your question up until the end. Then we will tolerate. We might even take some people on board. If you want to come live and join us, we will take your questions. Okay. So, but for now, my question will be this. If you have any question, please hold on to your question, because we will not be answering any question for now. So my first question for you, my guest today is, can you also give us a brief background of how did you transit from Nigeria to Canada? How did you go about it?
Yeah, so for me, back in the days, a lot of processes has changed now, which we understand, but we are following it up. So for me, then I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the kind of resources that people have now. I did not have it. Like I did most of this research like on my general travel knowledge. I've been to United Kingdom right from when I was probably like 20 something, right? Like probably 22. I've been going to the UK. So I did understand much about travel and how to do documentation and things like that. But to be honest, what literally prompted me to decide on actually coming to Canada was there was this wonderful year that I went to UK like the normal way I always go. Like I got to Heathrow Airport, and this immigration officer just literally look at me, check my document, and he was like, because I have these Heathrow stamp and a Nigerian stamp on my passport, that he's not sure about the Nigerian stamp, that he thinks the stamp is fake.
Wow.
And then we still use this old passport that is not, like, you can't is not verifiable, right?
Yeah.
So I went on with the immigration officer, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I came here like some months ago, this, that, and I do come here. So, and the immigration officer said, oh, for this reason, he's not sure if he's going to let me into England that year.
Wow.
So, that was like a longest day of my life. So before I knew it, I was being refused entry into the UK. They put me on a return flight to Abuja. I literally flew British Airways from Lagos to London, but I was put on a flight going back to Abuja.
Wow.
So to cut the long story short, I got to Abuja. Just because I was not with my passport, because if anybody that has experienced refusal, like entry refusal, they would not give you your passport. They would give your passport to the captain on the flight. So they gave my passport to the captain on the flight, and when I got to Abuja airport, the captain literally just, like, probably the Nigerian immigration, they're always aware that, oh, they refuse someone, like with people that they are coming repatriation, and they put all of you together. You literally look like a criminal. Of course, I am not. I have a legal visa. I have a legal everything, right? So they literally just signal to the immigration officer and give my passport to the immigration officer. I didn't claim my luggage. I've got noodles. I've got different things that an average young guys will take along to the UK and stuff like that. And I have cousins over there too that I wanted to give some things that they gave to me back in Nigeria to drop over for them. So they took me to their office. I was in detention there for like probably like 2 weeks. It was a dastard situation. So I'm not. So when we're there, they did their investigation, they checked, they did everything. So even though while I was in the detention, there was no pure fact that even the Nigerian government could not verify their stamp. You understand what I'm saying? Because if anybody has that old passport, you can't scan the barcode, you can't scan anything. So that was the passport I have in those days, right? So we did that, and eventually I was being released. And after I left the immigration office in Nigeria, so my parents and I and my cousin in the UK, we now decided to take the immigration officer that refused me entry up in the court of law, in the tribunal. So which we did. So in the process of the tribunal, it was being they gave him some punishment because he didn't do his due diligence. It was meant to call to do so many investigations. They were meant to let me in and kind of do further investigation, right? So, but the guy didn't do that. He literally refused me entry based on the fact that he was just being a racist, which I want to call it. So to cut it short, I went on a tribunal, and which I won the case, and the guy was fine. They repaid me back my expenses and everything. They kind of renew my visa that I lost because the tribunal took like 1 year plus, right? So I used that opportunity then to just say I was in Nigeria. I used that opportunity because I didn't when I didn't do my youth service on as at that time. So I was just like, okay, I would just basically use the time wait period to just do my youth service in Nigeria. So I did my youth service and everything like that. By the time close to the middle of my youth service in Nigeria, the case came out. I won. So because of that, I decided, and already my younger brother is already in Canada for years, right? So I decided to like, okay, I'm not going to UK again. London is not the only place in the world, and I know about Canada, but because an average Nigeria is used to the British education, right? So you want to go to UK and stuff like that. So I changed my mind. I said, okay, since my younger brother is here and we talk, and he just literally sent me every document that I needed and everything like that. And I decided to take a journey to Canada. So, but my point here is just that I did not really submit much of a big time document when I was doing my Canadian stuff. So I literally just did some of these research on my own, right? What I needed, and with the help of my younger brother to put some documents together. But because I've had experience, I literally thoroughly fed my document when I was doing the paper application back in Nigeria then. So, which I did, and to his glory, we are where we are today. But that was like a foundation experience that led to the coming up of Canada. Thank you.
All right, so that's a long that's a long one there. Eh? That's actually a long one. But thank you very much. So now I never even knew that you were denied once before to the UK, but thank you very much for sharing that with us. So now when you came into Canada, so now we're in Canada now. So let's deal with Canada because people want to hear about Canada. So when you came into Canada, what were the new things that, I mean, you've been going to the UK, so you might not really be new to traveling abroad. But when you came into Canada, what are the new things? I mean, did you come in as a student? How did you come in? Let's know that.
So I came in through family sponsorship program then, which was which I think by now they've actually canceled it for the way they go about it now. You have to be an orphan before that can work, which I think the US still do it, right? But Canada has literally stopped doing it. They've put like an age limit there, I guess. So, but back in the days, it was a different process, like I said. So a lot of things have
continue talking. Okay, continue talking. I'll be back.
But now they still do that because but the way you go about the process is that you have to be an orphan or your parents are not ready to come through you to Canada. So as at that moment, that was the process I used. So which it was a different process right now. I don't really know how they do it right now. You have to be an orphan basis, basically. So when we talk about Canadian values, Canadians do share important values such as pride. They believe in equity and diversity, and the respect for individuals. So it is this value that makes Canadian known as friendly, peace-loving, and they are secure place in the world. Like this is a secure country in the world. So I just learned about Canadian values, like what Canadians believe about. So it is they share important values such as pride. Like an average Canadian is proud. They love this country, and we later on migrate to this country. I think Canada is one of the wonderful countries you want to be in the world.
So yeah, so thank you very much for sharing. So you came in on a family sponsorship, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the way that works then is that you the one of the questions they ask you that year is that you can only do it if your parents are not going to come into Canada through you.
Okay.
Right? So if you do it, then you cannot invite your parents. You cannot sponsor your parents. No, you can't invite them for visits or whatever. But you can sponsor them to come and live in Canada, like the parent sponsorship that they're doing now. So by the time I got to Canada and I got settled, then I have to be the one that did those for my parents.
Okay.
My brother couldn't do it because he has used his own shot on me to come to Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was it
So
like?
and you where it wasn't, how will I put it, it wasn't kind of I didn't even know much about what we were getting into as at that point. I didn't know how long it's going to take. That was why I said I was not even doing any research, like looking for it on the internet that when is it going to come out. I was just in the house one day and I saw the email that the application is being approved, is that. So it wasn't like something that I really like. Basically, my mind was not, I want to come to Canada, right? Because I know as an individual, I would not survive in Nigeria because I was no longer used to Nigerian setup again, right? So I was feeling like, where this should better work because I don't want to go to UK, right? So, and as God will have it, God took control, and everything just worked perfectly. But to be honest with you, the day I was most happy was the day I got to Canada. I got to Pearson Airport, and because of the experience I've had with immigration in the UK in the past, I realized when I got here, everything was literally different. The approach to the immigration officer to me was different. I was at the airport. They gave me every of my thing. They told me when this one will get to my house, when I had to do my SIN number, and at the airport, I have to do all these things like that went easy, right? The immigration officer was not asking me in that funny question that, oh, is your brother here? Is he waiting for you? Is your brother there? You know, like there's no question that can make you look like, oh, did you guys not do your homework before you issue this visa? You understand what I'm trying to say? So it was a smooth sailing, soft landing kind of.
Okay. So yeah, finally, so eventually you landed in Canada. So can you tell us about what are the new when you came into Canada that year? What were the new things that you encountered? What was the news? I mean, something peculiar to Canada that you want to share with our viewers because we're talking about the lifestyle. Talk about the weather. Let's talk about
So
yeah.
so for me, it was way
I
cold,
need to attend to my
and
I need to attend to my son. Just continue talking.
it was way cold. It was the weather was very cold, and how will I call it? It was a weather that I was like, why is this so cold? Like, you know, I have to just, but I was already prepared for the weather, and I know it's gonna be cold, and my mindset is ready for the weather, basically.
Yeah, can continue. Can I'm sorry, I have to.
Yeah, so the weather,
I have to attend
the
to my
weather
boy.
was,
He's crying. That's why.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
the weather was very cold, and I was literally ready for the weather, and I knew what I was
Sorry.
getting into because I came in I came in basically in the winter time. I came in the winter months, and it was it was a
Sorry, sorry. Yeah, continue. I'm sorry about that. But what do you
yeah,
want?
I came in the winter. I came in the winter months, and it was a
Yeah.
terrible moment. So
Okay.
there's you have to be ready for that. So, and I was ready for
So,
that weather.
so the way, I mean, what part of the year did you come in? Was it January?
That was in ending of it was in January, but it was like I came in my first what's it called? I left
Sorry.
December, so I landed 1st of January. So it was in the winter months.
Yeah, so it was a different kind of winter from what you experienced in the UK.
Yeah, so this is a terrible, like I go to the airport and I'm like, oh, this is like right from the airport, regardless of the heat and everything, I was feeling the cold.
Yeah, I know, because
So I was feeling the cold
I also
already.
came into the country in January, and I know what it was
Hmm?
like when I came in. I had a jacket on, but when I still came in, it was a serious one. I mean, but I mean,
Hmm.
eventually I got used to it. So when you came in, you had a family to welcome you. So I mean, your brother is here.
Oh yeah, that was why I said it was a soft landing, because I already have someone waiting at the airport for me. It wasn't like I was scrambling around to see where to go and everything. After I left the baggage claim and everything, it was like I did not really. I actually have to even help someone that I met on the plane that
Okay,
was going to Conestoga College,
okay.
that never like, I think she hasn't been to Canada. She doesn't know anybody, right? So, but where she was going, she did not even know it. So I have to tell her that, okay, maybe my family that was waiting for me can be of help to her.
Oh, that's nice.
So she ended up even sleeping a night in their house.
Oh,
The next day, they have to take her to Conestoga, and she got the house. And today, she's successful here in Canada too.
so what
So
would you advise someone that is just coming into Canada? I mean, presently now, what will you someone that is just coming for the first time? How can they transit properly?
I just feel like somebody that is coming to Canada should be aware of the weather depending on the time they are coming. Because sometimes, even if you are coming in summertime, the summer can be way, way too hot than
Yeah.
whatever you are used to. For example, if you live all your life in like places like Lagos, some cool part of Nigeria that is not like, if you're not coming from the extreme north part of Nigeria, you might not like the kind of sun and the heat that you're used to might not be so crazy than the one that the people that live in the north are used to, right? So, but what's it called? But you can get to Canada in summertime, and you're gonna be like, is he Canada? Where's the cold, right? Because
Yeah.
this is too hot. But because you came in summertime, and summer too, sometimes it's way hot that some people even like die of heat stroke.
Yeah. It's true.
I
Yeah.
haven't I haven't seen an average Nigerian that die of heat stroke, but back here people die of heat stroke, you know. So it is it is um it is normal for
So
people
what do you want to
to
tell us about the food? How did you blend with the food? Because it's a different kind of food as compared to what you are used to back home.
where the food part of it is how will I say, the food part of it, I, because I've had family, I
Okay.
was eating much of African food.
Oh, because you have
And
a family. That's okay. That's part of the
yeah,
soft landing that we talk about.
yeah. So I had the African food, and sometimes that you go on outing, you
Yeah.
buy food
Mm-hmm.
where you don't have a choice, you still have to eat it.
Yeah. That's true. But
So
I mean, but that was so. Did you at the point you went to school or not? Did you at the point go to school here?
yeah, at
Okay.
the point I went to school, I went to school. I went to Fleming College,
Oh,
which was one of the another wonderful experience. So
that's good.
uh, in Fleming College, it was one of the different experience because I went to school in a place that is way isolated. There's
Where's
few black
Fleming? Where's
people.
Fleming College?
So Fleming is in Peterborough, and I went to the one in Lindsay, Ontario.
Oh, okay,
So
that's in Ontario. Okay.
so the one in Lindsay that I went to, which there's basically there's not much of black people in Lindsay. So when I walk on the street at that time, it's like they look at me like, oh, who is this guy? You know?
Wow.
So and in my class, like at a point I was the only black guy. I think after like my first year in the school, there was like two black guy.
Yeah.
Before I left the school, I ended up seeing like 3 or 4 black guys in the whole of the school.
Wow.
So, and one of the things that I faced when I was in school then was that it was difficult to kind of be the only black person in the majority of like an average white people in your class.
I know what it's going to be like. I know. I can imagine the feeling. I can imagine the feeling.
So it wasn't easy at all, you know. So, but if you're coming to Canada,
Oh,
like
good boy.
in that way, you have to be ready for that mental torture, right? You have to be ready for that mental torture.
Yeah, you can continue. I mean, I need to attend to
you have to be ready for that mental torture. So that's on the side.
Yeah.
You have to be ready for that mental torture. So which was the thing I was ready for, and I went through it. So that is just that about that.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, well, I'm sorry. I mean, my boy is making noise, so I mean that's the distraction. There's nothing we can do about that. Well, thank you very much for taking your time to actually share this information with us. So now let me, because you have actually spoken so much, let's allow some people to ask us questions. If you feel you want to join us live, I mean, come on live. We invite you. You can join us. If you want to ask us any question, drop it in the comment section, and let's talk. Let's talk. Let's see who wants to join us and ask us question. My guest the question today. Yeah. So I mean, to be sincere with you, I want to say that you have an easy landing. I mean, compared to me when I came into this country, mine was not so easy. But at least to a certain extent, I had a friend that came to pick me at the airport too. So I want to say I didn't actually suffer a lot, but to a certain extent, the African food and all those things, I had to eat the junks in this country first before I eventually start eating the African thing. So just to let people out there know that if you come into Canada, there are African foods. I mean, in Africa, virtually most of the provinces, there are African foods that you can buy, you can eat. So that is fine. And my guest also talked about weather. So to be sincere with you, if you're coming into Canada for January admission, you should be looking at the weather. Is a very terrible thing that period, because that's like going into the height of winter. January, February, that's the height of winter. But when you're coming in for September, September is a little bit still better. But by the time you get to December, January, then you're looking at out of winter. Do you have anything to say to that?
Yeah. So, but I was gonna say sometimes, like what's it called? Like sometimes you just have to know the time you're coming in.
Someone is asking you this question. Do you have a Jamaican food as well? Is there Jamaican food here?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Jamaican food here. Like basically, like in GTA region, there's a lot of Jamaican. And to be honest, there's big time population of Caribbean people in Canada too,
That's true. That's
right?
true.
So they are always everywhere. So there's Jamaican food, there's beef patty, there's some of
Oxtail,
their food. Yeah,
porridge,
there's a
rice
lot.
and
There's a lot.
pea,
There's a
everything you
lot.
can get it here. Everything you can get it here. So
Mhm.
the Jamaican community is
There's a
highly
lot. Even
represented.
in if you're coming to GTA, there are places that you can eat asun, suya, different things like that in Toronto area. But I don't know about people that go to other provinces, right? So if you go to places like Manitoba, Saskatchewan,
They might be there, but there might not be
BC,
much. They might be there, but there might not be as
yes.
much as here.
So
Yeah.
they might, yeah. So, but when you are in like in Ontario and you are in the Greater Toronto area, there's there's diversity rather. There's diverse
And do you
things that
know?
you can come across.
Oh, someone is telling us that there's a lot of Jamaican in British Columbia. Thank you very much for that information. Richard, do you know
Okay,
that? Do you
so
know that in the last 1 year, especially during this COVID period, I discovered
mm,
that a lot of African restaurants spring up in Canada, like African foods and stuff like that. Even Jamaicans. I mean, a lot of people use this period to sit down and set up a business. You know, it was a very good time for people to
yes,
look at what can we start. What can we start?
because the bottom of the lockdown makes some people's brain to think properly
Yeah.
that okay, apparently we can do something to kind of be creative and bring in something, right? So
Yeah.
which was a good time. So, but even this some of these Chinese restaurant, they've started carrying Nigerian products. Like yesterday, I was in one in Pickering, Ontario.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of Nigerian stuff already in those stores.
Really? Oh,
They
like what were
already
the things? What
have
were the things you saw there?
what's it called? They already have golden mall, things that you go for
Okay.
in an African
Oh
store,
yeah.
typical Nigerian stuff. They
Okay.
already have what else did I see?
Milk,
They
fish
have
milk.
ogi, pap, like
Oh
all
really?
those yeah, they already have things like that. So they are carrying much of like Nigerian thing,
I guess it's because
you know?
the demand for them is getting high. That's why they decided to
Yeah,
go to
so
that.
well, like I said to the person that we are talking yesterday, I said, well, you can't still rule out an African store because an average Nigerian people want to go to those stores and have a conversation with the owner and things like that, and it's kind of like adding up to Nigerian product to Nigerian investors and Nigerian business owner too here. So,
Yeah,
which was a good
wonderful,
one.
wonderful. If you have any question for my guest, I mean, drop it in the comment section. If you want to join us live too, you can send an invite. We'll try to bring you on board. So let's now talk about getting a job in Canada. I mean, I've come here to study. I'm done studying in Canada. What about job? Tell me, what are the chances? How easy is it to get a job?
So we can say it's easy and we can say it's hard. It's not easy and at the same time it's not hard. So for me, I just figure like an average individual have to be bold because one of the problems that you're probably going to encounter is you are trying to apply for a job and they are asking you for 5 years experience and sometimes they are adamant about you having Canadian work experience, which you cannot have if somebody did not give you that opportunity to have it,
That's the major stumbling
right?
block you need to break.
So let's say you did engineering, you wanted to go to construction line, and you've worked in Nigeria for 10 years,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And the employer is saying, okay, you have to have 5 years work experience. Oftentimes they close their eyes to whatever you've done in Nigeria leading up to the time that you are in Canada.
Wow.
And you're gonna look at yourself that what is going on?
I
Like,
have
did
10
I
years
not
back
live my
home.
life?
Come on, I have 10 years back home. Why are
Yeah.
you guys not considering that?
So then for me, I just feel like you just have to be confident. Like I, for once, have literally worked in places that I did not think that, oh, I can get the job because of probably the work experience they are asking for.
Yeah.
But either which way, I don't get scared away because of the work experience or because of what you have to have. All I did is I did apply. All I'm waiting for is that just invite me for the interview. Then you can go there to prove yourself. And most of the problem that an average person that comes to Canada do have is that, let me say, an average Nigerian, I don't want to say Africans. So let me put that word to Nigerian. They come here, they kind of don't want to change their lifestyle, their accent. They just want to speak as an average Nigerian. They don't want to learn.
But how do I change my accent? I just came into the country 1 year, 2 years ago. It's not so easy for me to change and speak like a Canadian.
So what I'm saying is that you don't necessarily have to speak like a Canadian, right? But you have to be explicit. Like, you have to be clear in your communication.
Yeah.
Right? There are things that you say to an average Canadian that does not make sense in your Nigerian context, like the way you put it out. So you have to try. And like I said to people that they are new to Canada, I do say, regardless of your educational background in Nigeria, it is often imperative for you to try to go to, if it's a year school in Canada, so that you're going to incorporate yourself to Canadian life. Because while you are in school, you learn a lot of things in the Canadian setup. You know how to deal with an average Canadian while you are in the work sector. Because when you just come, for example, the express entry that they do now, people just come. They are manager, where they're coming from. They are big bosses, whatever, where they're coming from. They come to Canada. They have that motive that when I come to Canada, because I'm a senior manager where I'm coming from, I'm just going to be on top the guys here.
It doesn't work that way here.
It doesn't work like that. So what I do advise is that there are times that you have to just be patient, learn, and sometimes you even go as far as going to YouTube to listen to things and see how those things are put together, right, in a Canadian context, that the person that you're talking to, because I've seen friends that
sorry, just a moment. Someone is telling us here that clear in communication is okay, but not change of accent, please. So someone is really telling me, not really agreeing with you in terms of changing the accent.
So that was why I make that clarity, that it is not necessarily your accent.
Okay.
It is clear in communication. That was why I said that you need to be clear in your communication. It's not necessarily you might not probably be able to talk like a Canadian, but in the same hand, I've seen people that they are interested in talking like a Canadian, and they went through it and they learned how to talk, because this is where you live. Why did you move here if you don't want to adapt to the way of things here? You understand what I'm trying to say? You have to understand those principles. It doesn't take your African or Nigerian away from you. But when you are dealing with the people of the land, it's like when you're trying to like impose your own way of life in a country that have its own culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there are things that you have to understand. The diversity and everything is lovely, but either which way, there are typical Canadian things that you can't take away from an average Canadian.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
I've seen a situation whereby what we call like head warmer in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You say an head warmer to a Canadian, they might look at you that, what do you mean by head warmer?
Do you know what? Let me share this, and I want you to share. If you have an experience like this, I want you to share with our viewers. So let me share this with you and our viewers. When I came into Canada, one of my greatest flaws when I came in, because they're different culture, right? Back home in Nigeria. When you want to buy something, I mean, you call Coke, Fanta, Sprite, whatever. That's what you call it, right? So when I came in here during my first 1 to 3 months, I went to do like just to get some snack in a store.
Grocery.
So when I got there, I bought a cookie. I mean, what we call biscuit in Nigeria, cookie here. I bought that, and
those are little things I'm talking about.
Yeah. So and I said I wanted a drink too. So the guy now told me to go into the fridge and go and pick a pop. After taking the cookie, and I said, go to the fridge and pick a pop. When I went into the fridge, I opened the fridge and I was looking for pop. I was looking for a drink that is called pop. You know, there were Coke there, there were Fanta, there were days, but I was looking for what is called pop. I was searching, I didn't see it. The guy had to come and meet me that, what are you looking for? Man, these are pop. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that back home, we don't call it pop. But when I got in here, those were the new things that I learned. It was so funny, but I mean, it was kind of funny for me. So, but I learned from it.
So those are the little things I was talking about. Like, and my apology if I say accent wasn't the right word I was gonna use.
Yeah, it's okay.
I was trying to use a clear communication skills, because when you talk to an average Nigerian people or African people, because of the language you speak, you tend to think like the language. So you are a Yoruba speaker, you speak in Yoruba, you tend to think like an average Yoruba person, because when you're trying to say, I've seen people in this, and Nigerian people, that they get offended when they tell them sorry, right?
Oh yeah.
So and sorry is a typical Canadian way, not because they are telling you sorry, they only tell you sorry when things is wrong with you, right? Yeah. So, and it's an African or Nigerian people use sorry in most of, like, simple, you sneeze, they can tell you sorry. So, and you can tell a white person sorry when they sneeze and they look at you that, why are you telling me sorry?
Yeah.
You didn't cause, you are not the causative agent of my sneezing. So those little things like that, you have to understand it. You have to understand the hand firm shaking.
Yeah.
You can fail an interview in this country by the way you shake the HR department that is trying to interview you. So those are the little things I was trying to talk about, like things that we don't really notice.
Yeah, back home we say, I'm going to the toilet. But here you can't say, a white man is going to look at you, what is toilet? You have to probably
yes. So but to be honest with you, toilet too is an English word, but it's used by the British.
Yeah. So because we in Nigeria we are colonized by the British, right? So we are used to their English. Yeah.
To be honest with you, an average Nigerian graduate can probably speak a proper English than an average Canadian.
How?
Because you might probably put your word in the right tenses and structures, right? If you listen to them, there are things they might say to you that you might think is wrong, but you've forgotten that they are speaking a language that which they have a command on. It's like you speaking your language. You can decide to twist your language in any way that you think you want to say it. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like you talking to somebody, oh, the right English word is I want to go to the bathroom, right? But a typical Canadian can tell you, I got to go to the bathroom. So you can look at him that you got to go to the bathroom. What are you trying to say? That's not the right English. But don't be surprised. They can go to an interview and they can be blowing that English that doesn't really go with the structures, and they can get the job. But you with a good English might not get the job.
All right, so I think we have actually overflowed these accents and language, but you have made yourself clear anyway, so that's fine. So once again, if you have any question in the comment section for my guests, please drop it in the comment section. If you want to come on live with us on the video, send me an invite. I'll be glad to bring you on board. So Richard, thank you very much for the clarification on that aspect of speaking. Let's talk about what's this person? I support the assertion of Nigerians speaking correct English to Canadians. Okay, let's talk about the driving in Canada. People want to know. I mean, you've been here. I'm just coming into Canada for the first time. I drive very well in Ghana, in Nigeria, in India. I have my license. Let's talk about it. You are a Nigerian coming into Canada. How was it like driving in here?
So if I want to go by my own experience, an interesting experience like driving here, for me, I do even tell people around me when I'm like kidding around that I basically enter public transport in Canada probably like once or twice, because for me, what I did was that when I got to Canada, driving was like, because I understand the principle of life that you might have limitation when you don't have some things at your disposal. So, for example, you want to go get a job, you want to go also, and you cannot drive. That has created a limitation for you one way or the other. So I feel like my first year, like my first few months in Canada, I had to go do my G1, which is the first written test that you do.
So what is
right?
G1? Please
I have
break
to go.
G1 down for our viewers. What is G1?
So G1 is a written test that you do that talks about the signs and the signs on the road,
Okay.
the rules and regulation of driving. Those are like basic things that you have to know, that even like an high school kid that is in the I think 16 years of age, that is the age that you can have your G1, I guess, if I'm right, and I stand to be corrected. So 16 years of age, you can have your G1. You just go in there, you book it, and you go in. There's a computer in front of you. You have like you cannot fail probably like 4 questions in both sides, I guess, in both questions. So once you fail 4 questions in both 2 parts of the question, you failed basically, right? So, and you have to reschedule. But for me, I went in.
So are you saying that everybody that comes in new to Canada must take that G1? You must take that G1, right? I think so.
If you know you want to drive in this country, you have to take that G1.
Because
okay, another way I've seen people.
Okay.
Yeah, even you cannot jump that G1 to another group of driving licenses, because we have G1, G2, and you have your full G.
Yeah. That's true.
And then if you want to go from all these classes, then you go to DZ, and you have D.
Trucks and motorcycles. And
so if you want to go into professional specialized driving.
Truck driving,
So, but the G1, you cannot jump the G1. You have to write your G1 regardless. So, but I've seen people after the G1, they jump the J2 and they go straight to the G. So, if you want to go through that route, what people do is that they kind of, if they are driving in Nigeria, they take a letter from maybe the road safety in Nigeria, they bring it down here, and I think the driving test and back home, and I think the driving test here, the way they do it now, which I still stand to be corrected because things change every time, right? So they kind of contact the embassy in Ottawa to confirm the legitimacy of the driver's license, and once that is done, they kind of book you for your G. Right? So because you want to jump to a full G driver's license, because with your G, there's no restriction for your driving. Like they are not like, oh, you cannot drive 2 a.m. with 3 people or 4 people. There are restriction with the G2. So for your full G, you have no restriction.
Sorry about that's true. So just to try to add to what you've spoken well, but just to add to what you have just said, if you have to do G1, that's true. You have to do G1 in Canada. Then for you to, the next one is G2. So, but if you want to avoid the G2, bring your international passport from wherever country you are coming from, let's say Nigeria. So when you bring your driver's license, then you have to send your driver's license and the letter you're getting from your road safety back home. You send it to a Canadian embassy here in Ottawa. So once you send it there, then they will mail a letter to you. That letter is what you will take to the driving test center, just to let them know that you want to skip G2, you want to go straight to G. So you have actually spoken well on that. So
So I have to say something just to buttress what you just said.
Okay.
So, and to be honest with you, we basically advise an average Nigeria to kind of, if it's possible, to go through the process.
Why that?
One after the other. Because I feel like the driving mentality that an average Nigerian have, it is terrible. right?
I think somebody
Because,
somebody agree with you in the comment section on that.
for example, if you've driven this in Lagos, if you've drive like I'm not like Lagos, if you've driven Oshodi, if you've driven places that are jam-packed with traffic congestion, and Nigeria does not adhere to traffic rules. Like those are not it's a country that you just decide on what you want to do on the road, right?
Okay.
So, but this is a country that you cannot just say, okay, I feel I can turn here and I'm turning, right? If you do that, you can put your life in jeopardy, right? So for me, I feel like when you go through this one step after the other, it's kind of imparted in you the Canadian driving mentality that is going to help you all through your driving history. For me, I've really driven in this country. Like my kind of job, I drive a lot,
Okay.
you know. So, and I can do one shot of 10 hours in a trip. I've done one shot of 13 hours in a trip, right? So, and secondly, I am not disputing the Nigerian ruggedity in Canadian driving sector too, because it's even though I will even say an average Nigerian driver, they are good defensive driver, because mindset wise, you know the other guy that is coming to you is not going to obey traffic rules. So you are always ready for what you are not meant to be ready for, right? So, and we are good in defensive driving, but having said that, we still have to go through this process so that we get the Canadian driving mentality incorporated into our mindsets, which is going to help us going forward.
Yeah, that's true. That's totally true. And the apart from the danger of endangering yourself, which is the ultimate, there are so many rules there are so many penalties that are attracted to driving negatively here. You will get demerit point on your driver's license, and the implication of getting a demerit point is that when you want to insure your car, because you have to insure your car when you're driving. So when you get a demerit point, and your demerit point is so much, the insurance company might not want to insure you. And if you don't get the insurance company to insure you, there's no way you can drive. And another thing again is that if your demerit point is so much here in Canada, police can actually impound your car and you won't drive for 1 week, 1 month. It depends on the severity of your case. So it comes with a lot of penalties. And that's why I want to agree with you to a certain extent. If you can do G1 is compulsory for everybody, but if you have to, it's better you do your G2. G2 has little restriction. When you do your G2, it's valid for 5 years. Then after that, you get your full license, which is the G. So with G, you don't have to renew. You don't have to renew it. All you have to do is just you've gotten your G, you've gotten your G. Yeah.
Sorry, Bernard. Before I forget this, yeah. I need to pass an information again about the G2.
Okay.
So if you have your G2, which the expiring date is 5 years, yeah. If you did not book for your G in the window of that 5 years, you didn't do your
Sorry,
G.
someone is trying to
G2,
distract us, but I would like to answer this question. Sorry, someone is trying to distract, but I would like to answer it. Do we have schools that do not require request for IELTS to gain admission?
Of course, yes.
Yes, there are schools that do not require IELTS. And someone is asking again, what about motorcycling in Canada? There's a license for that.
Where you see, you have a special license for that too. So anyway, back to the G2. In the window of the 5 years, if you did not do your full G in the window of the 5 years and you did not renew the G2,
that's from beginning,
and you allow it to expire, you are going back to square one.
G1 again. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Can you repeat
and
that?
Secondly,
can you repeat that information? These are people that do not can understand it.
So if you have your G2 and the G2 is valid for 5 years.
5 years, yes.
If you did not renew the G2 in the window of the 5 years and you did not book your full G and you allow the G2 to expire, you are going back to square one,
G1.
Going back to G1. You're literally writing the G1 again. You are starting from afresh. Second thing I want to say, which is imperative, is that driving is a very important tool to you in this country. You might probably not get some job because you don't drive.
That's true.
Not even some. There are jobs that one of the requirements with your BSc, with every work experience that you think you've got, you might not get a job because they will basically tell you one of the requirements is that you should possess a full G driver's license. Secondly, the other one that I want to say that I before it escaped my mind is that driving is very important to you in the sense that some job ask you to go get your driving abstracts. What I mean by driving abstracts is that they want you to go to a police station to run a check on you, and they in that driving abstract is going to tell them how many demerit points you've gotten, ticket violation, and all those kind of things. There are people that they give tickets in this country and they forget, they won't pay it. I've seen a friend that they gave him a ticket in Toronto, and he literally took it off his window and just say, oh, fuck this thing, I'm not going to pay, right? But the truth is that the day they pull him over, they slammed this guy $5,000 ticket and they impounded his car. Because when a police officer pull you over, they are going to run your check. You understand what I'm saying? And once they
someone is asking us, what about those already having a driver's license in the UAE? That's United Arab Emirates. What is the process?
I don't think you can drive with any other foreign driver's license in Canada. And with that, there are provinces in Canada that you can drive with your international driver's license. Yes. But once you drive with it, any day they pull you over, that license is registered. Because normally you are allowed to drive with that license for, I think, probably like 60 days rather, or 30 days, or whatever that you are in the country. But once those driver's licenses are registered, if they pull you over again, then you're going to face a fine, because that license, from the date that license is being registered, they start counting the number of times that you are meant to drive with it. You can be doing it, you might probably be doing it for years, but the day they register it, it start counting from that year. From that day, they pull you over, then you're going to land yourself in a big time trouble. So I know of people like that. But honestly, I will advise people that it is important for you to do, if you know you want to live in Canada, it is important for you to go through the driving route and do your necessary due diligence regarding the driving license and get it done. Because it's going to help you in the long run. It's going to help you in the long run. Because if you don't know how to drive in this country, honestly, you might not get anything done. And sorry to shock you, Canadian transportation system is not that good. I'm sorry to say, it's not good. Like anybody that has been to England before, in comparison to Canadian transportation system, Canada cannot even score 50%.
Wow.
You know? So because we don't have a good, because our transportation system is not good. We don't have like the bus route. It's not the way that you get on the bus in the UK. In the UK, you might not even need to have a car and your life will be smooth.
Wow. Buses
so
very,
you can,
intermittently.
Yeah, you can. In the UK, anybody can. I stand to be corrected. You can buy a day pass in the UK. That same day pass, you use it on the train, you use it on the bus, and anywhere you go to, a bus is going to drive past, and the time is accurate.
Okay. And
everything is connected. If you go to London Underground goes like, you are there wherever you are. And don't forget, London is very small, landmass to Canada. Yeah. Canada is even bigger than the US based on landmass. Population-wise, we are smaller to
in landmass.
Yeah, we are smaller to the US, but Canada is huge. So having a car is an important tool in your life in this country. You cannot achieve basic things without that. And you can't depend so much on friends.
I know you've got a lot of stuff to talk about. I mean, and normally it's always for 1 hour. But before I let you go, I need you to talk on one more topic before I let you go. And we'll be wrapping up. We are almost close to an hour. But I want you to talk about, because I know you're a family person here too. Can you just briefly, I need you to be brief about this. Give us insight about raising a family life in Canada. Let's talk about that before we wrap up. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section.
Yeah, so that's another big time topic, you know.
But we have to
it's not easy. So, but to cut it short, for me, I just feel like if you want to be a family man in this country, you have to probably edit that Nigerian man grandstanding mentality off, because you need to support your spouse 100% in the care of your kids and whatnot, because you cannot leave it to your spouse alone. It's not like Nigeria
Yeah, I
that,
was carrying
oh,
my
okay.
baby. You see, I was carrying my baby the other time because she can't
so,
cope with it by
so
herself.
you cannot do that. You cannot do that. It is difficult in this country, because the way we have support in Nigeria, like maybe somebody can go and carry your baby, one auntie, one uncle can do that for you, or one. It is not like that. Yeah, so it is a big time situation that you have to be there to support each other, and communication is very important too. You have to be. It's not like Nigeria that and the wife too cannot leave everything to the husband. It is a
Even the
it is
work.
a
Both of you, when you are working, you have to like time the working. Somebody's at work, somebody must be at home. Because when you can't pay for
yeah.
daycare, paying for daycare is very, very high here. To take your child to the daycare.
Yeah, so it is not easy. So that was why I said that's a big question on its own.
Yeah.
Like that's a very big question on
It's
its
a
own.
topic that we can discuss all day. Yeah, I know.
It's a topic on
It's
its
a
own.
topic
Like,
on its own. Yeah.
you cannot just
No, maybe we'll bring you
you
back.
can
Maybe we'll bring you back some other time. So you should come and talk solely on that. Yeah, because I mean, you have
yeah.
experience,
So
you have a family. Yeah, you can.
I'll be glad to do that, because that's a big topic on its
Yeah.
own. Like there's a lot of things that our average Nigerian guys are probably they're doing wrong when they get to this country, and which the problem they face is that the wife that they probably understand each other back in Nigeria, they will now turn to enemy when they get to Canada, because you are carrying a culture that is not incorporated in Canadian setup. Like, you want your wife to go work and make money and pay bills, at the same time you want to use her as slave. It's not possible. Like, you guys have to balance it. You guys have to balance. If one person is even in this country, you might be the only one working, and your wife is at home taking care of the kids.
Yeah.
When you come back, you have to balance it, because there are mental stress that comes along with taking care of little ones, right? So you have to understand those principles too. So that was why I said it's a different topic on its own, and I will be glad
also
to, because
raising up those kids in the midst of all these atrocities abroad, shooting kids.
So you have to be sure of where you want them to live. You have to be sure of the schools that you are putting them, and things like that. Like, even back in the days, they say the missionary schools are the best, but nowadays they are not. Like, even the missionary schools is not, there are problems there too. So you have to be sure what you want to do with your kids, and they are growing up here. The rules and regulation of nurturing a kids in this country is different from Nigeria. If you think you want to be kicking the ass of your kid, that kid can put you in trouble by kicking his ass every day.
Yeah, someone is saying that. Someone is saying here that you have to leave the mentality at Pearson International Airport, and you will do fine. So all those mentalities you are coming with, just leave it at the airport.
Yeah, and just leave it in Pearson Airport and try to understand. And people have to learn, because people need to understand that this is a new country. You are like a new baby in Canada when you enter this country. So you have to find mentorship. You have to find people that walk through that route. It is not as a result of I'm not boasting or whatever, but there are some of my friends that they came into Canada, and they came in let's say like 2 years or whatever. I was pushing them to go buy a house. Their basic thing, I told them, don't take this debt, don't take that debt, don't go and buy Escalade, don't go and buy this, don't go, because those things will put you in problem. But you need a roof on your head. Do you want to be a tenant for the rest of your life in this country? So you have to do those things. So, but if they did not have friends that can tell them those truths, and I'm just looking at them that, okay, go use your initiative. You are a mature being. But I didn't do that. I told the guy, I said, don't go and buy Benz because your friend is buying Benz. Buy a car that you don't need to go in debt. Buy a car that you can pay insurance, but your your target is to buy a house. Once you buy a house, you have a house of your own. You can buy anything you want to do. But a lot of a Nigerian comes here because they realize they can finance an Escalade. They go there, they go pick up an Escalade. They go there, they go pick up a Benz. Oh, so this Benz that this guy is driving in Nigeria, I can buy it because I'm in Canada. You're going to do yourself a big time disfavor. Because by the time you are ready to buy a house, all those debts will come haunting you. You understand what I'm trying to say? So people are not privileged to this information. And some people, and to be honest with you, this is a selfish country. People will not tell you truth. What Bernardino is doing today, I feel like it's just I really appreciate his grace, dishing out information to people on his own time and everything like that. People will not do it for you.
Send me an invite.
For free.
Anybody, please add me. Send me an invite. If you send me an invite, I will add you. We are wrapping up, but if you send me an invite, we can take you as the last person before we go. Yeah. So to be sincere with you, I totally agree with everything you have said today. So I totally agree with everything you have said today because you have actually spoken well, and that is the way things are in Canada. I mean.
So someone is saying you should add them OC _ Lucky or something like that.
Let him send me an invite. If you send me an invite, I would be glad to invite you. Let me see if I can bring him on board. Yeah, we are actually eating home stretch, and let's see if he's the only one that we can bring because my guest is actually busy. I had to work with his time schedule too. And here in Canada, there's no Sunday. Sometimes you might even be going to work on Sunday. So that's why you have to. But you have actually spoken well today. You have talked about weather. We talk about food. Someone is saying thank you for the information. Jamaica, I love you, this channel. This program is so informative. Don't worry, we'll be doing more of this. In fact, my guest, I'm going to give him time to rest. After some few weeks, I'm going to bring him again. And this time around, he will be talking about something else. And that is particular topic, whether we're talking about family or how to buy a house. Because that's another opportunity in Canada. If you come into Canada, you can buy a house too. You cannot continue to rent. In the beginning, you can rent, but at the point, you have to buy your own house too.
See, to be honest with you, there are people that I know that came to Canada in less than 2-3 months because a lot of immigrants that comes from Nigeria, some of them are working in a good place. So, but when they come here, they will go and pay 1 year to one landlord, right? Interestingly, you are paying the mortgage of that person, right? So that money, you can bring it. The worst that will happen is that they might say you pay 20% of that mortgage that you want to buy, and then you have a house of your own, not like you're paying rent. Like you said, that's a topic for another day. Yeah. So I'll be glad to talk about family.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to talk about
we'll bring you
any of these topics.
You know? You have a family, you have a house, so I know you should be able to do justice to that question. All right, so in the absence of any question, if you don't have any question, in the next 5 minutes, I'll be wrapping up.
The OC Lucky still say, please invite me. OC _ Lucky.
I tried to invite him. I sent him an invite, but he's still not picking up my invite. And I'm going to do it one more time. Yeah. But so, Mr. Richard, you have to leave. What do you want to leave us with? Because your final parting shot, what will it be today?
So I just want to most especially, for me, I think I am most, how will I say? I am so concerned. Okay, let me put it that way. I'm so concerned about Nigerian youths. I mean,
it's not only Nigerians that are watching us, so you have to open your distance. It's not only Nigerians that are watching us.
So,
hello,
okay, I think the guy is online.
But continue with your own.
I am okay. Let me say I am most concerned with Nigerian and African youth.
We can see you.
To be precise, and Caribbean youth. Let me put it that way. And all your viewers that they are youths, because if you're living in the third world country, so it's a sad and a pathetic situation back in some places that people are living, be Africa, be Caribbeans, like all these other places that is a less privileged country, right? I just said I'm most particular about Nigerian youth because that's like my background, that's my country.
You are familiar
also,
with that terrain,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with that terrain, but when you look at things that is going on there, you see an average youth. What I mean by youth is that a youth that you might be married, but you are still in your youthful age. That's what I mean. I'm not talking about teenagers. So I'm sad when I look at it that it is difficult to even bring food to the table as a youth that is married. You have to depend on your parents, on their own salary that is not enough. You know, and the age, the clock of your age is ticking, like it keep going. So before you know it, if you are not in your 40 yet, you're going to be in your 40 within a twinkle of an eye. And time waits for nobody. And anybody that can observe this, when you are in Nigeria, it looks as if the time is slow. Like it looks as if the month is slow. But when you are in this part of the world, before you know it, the year finished without waiting for you. So whatever you want to do with your life, time keep going. So I employ our young adults, youth, to, if you know Canada is in your dream, please don't give up. You know, don't give up. Keep seeking information, keep seeking way out on how you can. Because that country that you see, I'm particular about Nigeria, and I'm sorry, it doesn't look as if it's going to work. So please, whatever you can do for yourself to get out of that shit holes, please do, and find yourself a better future. And your kids will be proud of you going forward in the future. So that's my parting.
Thank you very much, Mr. Richard. You have spoken well. And people in the comment section, they've been giving you a thumbs up. Thank you very much. So help me drop a thank you to Mr. Richard, because he has actually spoken well today. And he has given us all this Canadian lifestyle from his own perspective. And to a certain extent, I totally agree with everything he has said, because I'm also in Canada, and I'm seeing the way he's seeing it from the same lens. I'm actually seeing it from the way he has seen it. Once again, Mr. Richard, I'm so grateful. And on behalf of my guests, which they are saying thumbs up, they are saying thank you. We could not have some of them live. I mean, I don't know why, but I want to say a very big thanks to you. And when next we feel we want to bring you on board to come and discuss, somebody is saying thank you, brother. Thank you. Melissa is saying thank you. When next we feel we will bring you again. I know, thank you, sir. Someone is saying thank you, sir. We will bring you on board again to come and talk about something, especially that family. Thank you, Daddy. Somebody is saying thank you, Daddy. To come and talk about something. Thank you very much for your time. And at this point, I want to let you go while I wrap up with my viewers. Okay, viewers, thank you once again for this for joining us live on Canada Reality with your own boy MC Bernardino. For some of you that do not know, I have a YouTube channel. Where I dish out content for viewers out there. So you might want to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Canada Reality. Follow us on Instagram, Canada Reality, Facebook, Canada Reality, Twitter, Canada Reality. Join us there. Every Sunday, we do what is called Instagram Live. And that is where I bring in somebody. I've done like 3 videos in the past. I brought in people that came in as an international student. Today, I brought Richard, which Richard has been in this country for like 7 or 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. He's been to study. He's a family person now. Everything is working out for him. So that's why I felt it's a good person to come and talk about Canada lifestyle. And I feel you want to agree with me, but that he has done justice to all those questions. So by next week, Sunday again, I'll be bringing in somebody else. I will not let the cat out of the bag today. I'll bring in somebody else to come and talk to you, because why I created this platform is I know the value of information. I know information is very imperative. When I was back home, I was yearning for this information. And I know that if you people out there, even if you don't want to come into Canada, you need information, maybe for your brother, for your sister, for your kids. That's why I created this platform, so that I can provide information for people that want to come into Canada. So next week, Sunday, I'll be bringing in somebody else to come and talk to you on how you can easily transit into Canada without no hassle. And don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Till I come back to you again on this platform, stay away from drugs. Please, COVID-19 is real. Social distancing is very paramount. Use your nose mask. Till I see you again. Bye. Peace out. And have a happy Easter. Bye for now.